Hello, dear students. So, welcome back. You are here with me with the topic deep water. And this is the third chapter of your book Flamingo. And in this chapter, in this lesson, we will try to know something about fear. You must have got the fear in various way and various things. There are people who scared of many things there are the people who got phobia from the dogs, from the cat, and from the animals, and from the heights, and from the depth. Okay, from the night and from the day, etc. There are different kind of other phobias and the kind of fear we have. So here in this chapter, you would see that how William Douglas is representing autobiographical element herein, and how he is telling us that how he was only the child of 3 to 4 years when he first was accompanied with his father in the at beach in California, and at that time a big and so powerful wave come and knock me down. It swept over me, and I was under it. I was so much frightened, and that fright stayed with me for a long time. But at the age of 10, I decided to learn to swim, and YMCA offered the opportunity to learn. The YMCA is a pool which exactly offer the opportunity. So I bought a pair of water bank, and as I was so weak and I was very thin, so I disliked to get into the water, with stripping. Anyhow, I controlled my and subdue my pride, and I did, and I get into the water. First day when I went to the pool, YMCA pool, that old, the terror and the fear returned, especially those of unpleasant memories of childhood. Anyhow, I managed to get all these things and gather the confidence and get into the water with other boys and apping them. I tried to learn the swimming. And just I was feeling comfortable in the water, the misadventure happened with me. What was that misadventure? One day, he was alone at the pool. Nobody was there, and the water of the pool was very calm. So he thought that I should wait for someone. And very soon a brosio boy come and he shouted on him and said, "Hi Skinny, how would you like to die?" And afterward, and he picked him and throw into the water. In a sitting position, he was going down toward the bottom of the pool. He was so much frightened. But his frightened, in the frightenness, actually, I would say, although he was frightened, but not out of his bit, out of his mind, he made strategy that as soon as I will touch at the bottom of the pool, I will make a big jump. As he has imagined that I will be up like a cork on the surface of the water until he touched the bottom, his lungs were ready to burst. He had gulped so much water, he was choked, and as soon as he touched the water, he gathered his confidence and he gathered his strength and make a big jump upward. But as he had imagined that I will come swiftly and come upward like the cork on the surface, instead he comes slowly. He opened his eyes, he could see only water, yellow water around him, and it seems that he was reaching as if to grab something, and his hand grabs only water and nothing else. He tried to scream, he tried to say something, but there was nobody who could hear him. There was a water around him, and then suddenly his nose and eyes were almost out, but not mouth. And afterward, he was striking and he was hitting with the water, and he was expending his energy as all possible way he could do. But his lungs were aching, the mind were throbbing, and his all breath has gone. Some great force was like pulling him down toward the bottom of the pool. But again he remembered the strategy that I remembered. I have to remember the strategy that I have made. As soon as I will touch at the bottom, I have to make the Again, I have to make the jump in the same he has did. But it also made no difference. He tried to bring up his legs, but it becomes so paralyzed. It seems, without weight and rigid because of the fear. When he was going down, when some force was pulling him down toward the, you know, toward the bottom, he again remembered his strategy that I have to do the same thing. He was striking with his hand, and he was expanding his energy as he had already got so much water and he was choked. Now here he was striking and fighting with the water, and he was expanding his energy as that we expend and we use energy during some nightmares on some irresistible force with irresistible force. जैसे काइंड ऑफ दुष्वप्न जो होते हैं ना, जिसमें हमने कई बार भूतों वगैरह को देखा है, हमें डरा रहा है, हमें मार रहा है कोई, दैट टाइम वी ट्राई टू सेव आवर सेल्फ. सो व्हाट डिड वी डू, हम क्या करते हैं उस वक्त ना, वी ट्राई टू सेव आवर सेल्फ एंड वी ट्राई आवर बेस्ट and using our energy, and sometimes we fly and sometimes we run and sometimes fights the same way he was doing here. But what was the result? He made, as he had imagined, that I have to do the same thing. I have to make a big jump so that I could come up. And the same thing was happening with him, that his mind was, and his lungs were aching. This one head was, throbbing, and he was getting dizzy. And then he remembered that I have to spring upward to the bottom, from the bottom, and I will be up at the surface of the water, and I will use my my hand. I will thrash with my legs and will lie flat on the surface of the water and paddle to the edge of the pool and be safe. But deep, one more time he get into the water. There was nothing to see. When he opened his eyes, he could see only the yellow water, dark water that he could not see through. And afterwards, a sheer stark terror has seized him so entirely. He said that it was a terror that had no understanding. It was a terror that had no control. It has the terror which has no understanding and who has not experienced. He was so much feared because of this. Although he has made 2 trials. Already he has made 2 efforts to come up at the surface of the water, but it proves futile. He was, till then, it has gripped him so firmly that he was, in a state of mind that to think of anything and to take any actions was becoming, जैसे मानो सब कुछ जम गया हो. I was paralyzed. I was screaming under the water. I was contracting, shrieking, and I was, paralyzed. I was seeming that I have no breathing in my life, the body now. And he was stiff. He was rigid because of the fear. And then even the scream in my throat were frozen. It seemed that all has frozen. अभी तक जो आवाज निकल रही थी, it's now freezing. Freeze हो रही है. Only my heart and throbbing in my heart will tell me that no, I still was alive, कि अभी मैं जिंदा था. And then in the midst of the terror, midst of the fear, the kind of a touch of reason, touch somewhere, come somewhere. I must remember what was the reason, that touch somewhere in his mind. That was, I have to remember the strategy, that as soon as I feel the tile of the bottom, I will make a big jump. And he made the efforts this time also, but the jump made no difference. The water was still around him, and I looked for, actually here author was looking for the rope, and he was looking for some ladders, he was looking for some some water wings, etc., but nothing happened. The mass of large quantity of water was around, and which has even gripped me more than other before. It was like the shock of electricity to me at that time, and I shook and trembled with fright. I was frightening and I was quivering because of this frightness, and my arms refused to move, and my legs even refused to move on and to walk. And afterward, I was calling for the help. I was calling for mother, but nothing happened. No one come there to help me. And suddenly and strangely, lights come. कहाँ से light आई? I don't know. Strangely, there was light. I was coming out of that yellow waters, awful, भयानक, awful yellow water में से बाहर आ रहा था. At least my eyes were, and even my nose was out too. Then I started down the third time to the bottom of the pool, and I sucked for air. I was trying to take a breath in. Instead of that, I take the water, and the yellowish light was going out. And then what happens? It was his his efforts to come up, and to that he had imagined that I will sprung up and will come up on the surface like a cork and lie flat on it and paddle to the edge of the pool and be safe. It proves futile. Now, his all efforts and all his whatever he has done to come up, I relaxed. Almost he has a vengeance, almost he has stopped his effort, and even my legs felt limp. Even now, legs was not in a state that they can move, and they can do some activities, and can say yes, no, some more effort should be done to come out of the water. And the blackness swept over my brain. He said that the blackness was kind of blankness, not only blackness, I should say. And I would say that it's a kind of blankness that mind becomes unable to take action and unable to think anymore. And so this blackness and a blankness has wiped out the fear, and it wiped out the terror that had gripped me so firmly, and there was no need and no more panic now. And because now he was feeling so good to be drowsy, and he want to sleep, and he was thinking that there is no need to make more jumps. I am so tired of it. इससे मैं बहुत ज़्यादा थक चुका हूँ. So I want to the state of mind like that here, drowsiness, going to sleep, tender arms around me like mothers, and floating in the space also is the nice feeling. And afterward, we saw that the somebody, especially this boy who has thrown him into the pool, said that I was just joking. It doesn't, मेरा ऐसा कोई मतलब नहीं था, मेरा कोई ऐसा इरादा नहीं था. When the people were saying that, the kid were almost died, but it's safe, and they carried him into the locker room. And afterward, author walked toward the home, and he was trembling under fear, and because of fear he was trembling वो पूरी तरह से, and he was feeling so sick. And that night he couldn't take his dinner, वो नहीं ले पाया. And that the fear haunted him for days, which stuck to him and in his heart for, I would say for a long time. It haunted him so much, and a slightest exertion made him bubbly in his knee, and sick to his stomach. थोड़ी सी भी कुछ कोशिश करता था, कोई ऐसी बात हो जाती थी, तो क्या हो जाता था, his knee give replies to him that I can't move on, I can't make an actions, because it becomes unsteady to walk. And his as far his concern about his stomachs are, it start vomiting. And then after that he didn't come back. He never come back this pool. We pool पे वो कभी नहीं आया. And he avoided whenever he could, and wherever he could go, and whenever he found such opportunity to any nearby water, so he avoided it. And after some years, he got to know about the water of Cascade. And these water of Cascade was known for this water activity, and so he also fancied, he also wanted to get into them. And so what happened then? Whenever he tried to get in them, the same thing happened with him. The old terror that has gripped him so much returned. It returned. वापस आ जाता था. And this handicap stayed with him for many years. After so many years had passed, this obstacle, this handicap still was with him. He was depriving of the many joy, especially those of water, like fishing trips, like the bathing and all, and the swimming, boating, and canoeings are these things which deprived him of. And finally, he was so much, exasperated, बहुत परेशान हो चुका था. So he decided to take an instructor and learn to swim. And finally, on October 1st, he hired an instructor. An instructor, instructor put belt around him, and that was attached to the rope, and rope also attached to some, pulley, and which was also attached to the overhead cable. So one by one, bit by bit, he and piece by piece, he taught me each and everything, and then he taught me how to get under the water and how to exhale, and how to bring nose out of the water, and how to inhale also. And he taught me each and everything. And whenever I cross, back and forth, we practiced there in the pool for each and every piece of the swimming. The little bit of every time, the little bit of or the old terror come, but anyhow, how I overcome them. Especially when I was under the water, the miniatures of, and a bit of that, I shed part, bit by bit. I shed part of the panic that seized me in the pool. Okay, जो पूल में मुझे जिस चीज ने जकड़ दिया था, and afterward I shed it, bit by bit, धीरे धीरे करके, कि जब मैं पानी के अंदर होता था, क्योंकि वो वापस आता था थोड़ा सा अंदर, मेरे में वो डर आता था. But slowly I shed that part of the terror that has seized me. In the next, instructor hold me at the edge of the pool and instruct me and tell me to kick with the help of your legs. And I did the same for many weeks. And finally, I make command over them. And then piece by piece, he perfected each piece and then build a swimmer. Okay, thus piece by piece, he built a swimmer, and then he had perfected with each piece, and he put them. He told me to do all together integratedly. In April, he said that now you can swim. And afterward, the instructor job was finished, but he was not satisfied with. And to prove that, and to make sure that he had no terror left, no terror had left. For this, he started swimming in the pool, because he was not sure that if I would be terror stricken when I was alone in the pool. So he did the practice until July, and afterward also he was not satisfied. So he went into the Bentworth in New Hampshire, where he make a dive at dock, dive off a dock at Tigris Island, and he swam across till Stamford. When he was mid of that lake, miniature of terror return, and finally it has gone. It also has gone, and he was frowning over it. Terror, okay, what do you think of yourself? And do you कि आप तुम क्या समझते हो अपने आप को कि तुम मेरे साथ ऐसा कर सकते हो? So it fled, वो भाग गया, and I continuously swam on. And still, yet he had a residual the doubt. And for this, to clear this doubt, he pitched his tent at the side of warm lakes, गर्म झीलों के किनारे पर उसने अपना तंबू गाड़ दिया. And very next day he dive into that lake, their lake में, and he swam across one shore to another. and return, and he did, and he swam like a dog caproon who used to do so. And then he was so happy and he shouted with joy, and that I have conquered over the fear of water. And that was that. So here he said that after conquering the fear of the water, I was, I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling so free to walk everywhere. I feel so the free to, climb in the trails. पहाड़ी रास्तों में जाने में मुझे freedom feel होती है. And wherever I like to go, in the swimming also, I feel okay. So I'm very happy that I have conquered the fear of water. That's it. Here, William Douglas represent his the fear and said that how, and really he had made great efforts to overcome the fear of water. That's it. That was about something about the deep water. Thank you.